Hello and welcome to another Royal Reviewer live weekly chat. I hope you've all had an amazing week. I know it's been a very long but amazing week for me, a very busy Royal week, a voluptuous Royal week yet again. So without further ado, I'm going to find the chat window which I opened earlier, and hopefully I'll be able to say all of the hellos. Okay, I can see the chat window. We have Oh Dear, so hello to Oh Dear, who says, miracles, I am here on time. Hi Elliot, hello to you, and I'm glad you made it on time. Kimberly Stevens says, hi Elliot, so hello to Kimberly. Annette says, hello, finally I'm on time. So that's two of you that have made it on time this week. But of course, it never matters if you don't. You can always watch on catch up. These live chats go straight onto YouTube once the live chat is finished. So if you've missed it, you can always catch up. Kimberly says, love the Queen's new brooch, it's gorgeous. Yes, and I made a video about her new brooch, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. Mara says, hello to everyone, hello to you. Candice, or Van Algil, says, hi there, Elliot. It's been another exciting royal week. You look wonderful. Thank you very much. Jen says, I don't see me. You don't see me. Try and refresh the screen. If ever you have any audio or visual problems, always refresh first. Kimberly says, love how the dark blue fades into the light blue, then the diamonds. Of course, the brooch. It's amazing. And if you haven't seen it, go watch the video. And we'll talk about it a bit more in a moment. Galaxia says, hello from Texas. So hello to you, Galaxia. I love the name. Oh Dear says, as a Canadian, I am totally pumped about the new brooch. It's gorgeous. It was given by the people of Canada. So I would love to wear it for a day. Okay, we'll talk about the brooch now. It seems to be a very popular subject, and of course I understand why, because it's absolutely gorgeous. So the people of Canada gave the Queen a new brooch, and it's called the Snowflake brooch. And if you watch the video I made, it tells you all about it, about how it was made, from the people who made it, why it was made, how it was given. There's a story behind how the sapphires were found. They were the only sapphires to be found in Canada, I do believe, and they were pieced together to make a brooch, which was given to the Queen by the Governor General David Johnston, and she looked thrilled to receive it, and it looks stunning. And I was wondering, when will she debut it? When will she wear it first? Will it be Christmas Day on the Christmas broadcast? Will it be in the winter when she meets a Canadian diplomat, or will she just wear it ad hoc? Let me know what you think. Oh Dear says, oh, I've already read that one. Kathleen says, hello from Florida. Hello to you. Hello to Mark Zucker. And Oh Dear says, you did a wonderful job with the brooch video. Thank you very much. Of course, I love royal gems. If you haven't noticed, I am wearing the Australian wattle brooch, which is a replica of the one that the Queen has. Seven Bridges Rose says hello to you. Jamie's here. He says greetings to you, Your Grace, the Duke of Shropshire. Thank you very much. I really wish I was given that title. It would probably make my life. Darla Wald says hi from North Carolina. Hello to you. Neela says hello, and Dawn's made it. Hello to Dawn. Seven Bridges Rose says the maple leaf. Well, I have a replica of the maple leaf. And the snowflake is to go with the maple leaf. So the Queen can either wear the maple leaf, which is a traditional jewelled gift from Canada, the jewelled brooch, in the shape of the maple leaf, obviously, or she can now choose the snowflake. Which one do you prefer? Let me know. Do you prefer the maple leaf or the snowflake? Annette says, oh bother, I have no video, only audio. Going to have to leave and retry. Yes, just reboot it, reload, retry, refresh. Oh Dear says, I absolutely want you to have a replica. I hope they do one for their gift shop. If they have one, I will buy it. So I really hope they do too. I would love one. Deborah Snyder says, hi all, the brooch is fantastic. Lucky lady to have that. Love your videos. Thank you so much. Hello to Maria from Maryland, and hello to Maria Carrion. Hello to you all. Now I'm going to tell you a little bit of news. Well, it's not really news, it's just I have a different plan for this video. So this video is effectively going to be split, this live chat, into two. There will be kind of part one and part two. It'll be roughly the same amount of time that I spend on one, but it will be in two. We're going to have the live chat, which is where you can ask me whatever questions you want, or we can just have a discussion about the royal family for an hour. So it's currently 6 minutes past 10 in the UK. So at 11 o'clock UK time, GMT, I will leave the live chat, but I will return 5 minutes later with a quiz. I found a quiz in a newspaper, and it's all about Queen Elizabeth II. And there's quite some rather tricky questions that only true fans of the Queen would know. So after an hour, I'll switch to the new live chat, which will be the quiz. So grab pens, grab paper, and I will launch the quiz. And then you can all let me know how you did. So first half is chat, and the second half will be quiz. Just something different. Let me all know what you think about that. MSNB says, hi Elliot, glad to be able to join you this week. Welcome. Candice says, the Queen's new brooch is my favourite now. It is truly spectacular. I love the formation, how the blue sapphires fade, and the diamonds. It's just completely amazing. I absolutely love it. Dawn says, I'm wondering if they can do a replica of the brooch with those very light colour sapphires. I've not seen that colour before. They can with Swarovski crystals or any type of those kind of crystals, because I've seen those in all kinds of colour. The wattle that I'm wearing now has very pale yellow stones, so I'm sure they could replicate the blue. Annette says, there you are. I'm glad you can see me. Love the snowflake brooch. I think she'll wear it in winter. I do too, but I'm wondering, will it be Christmas Day? Could it be Christmas? I really want to know. Marjol says, oh my God, great idea. It's going to be fun. Jamie says, Elliot, that quiz is great, but can't people cheat? They could Google, but obviously you know if you've cheated. You know if you've been bad. And you know if you... Yeah, shame on you if you cheat the quiz. I want real answers, please. Deborah says, the Charlotte temper tantrum. She was so good all week. Of course, referring to the Cambridge's Royal Tour of Poland and Germany. It's Poland for the first half, Germany for the second. It was an amazing tour. I'm sure we'll talk about it in bits and bobs all the way through the chat. It was an outstanding success, and the kids were absolutely adorable. And Charlotte's temper tantrum, I just think she was really bored. She looked really bored to me that she was having to stand there at the base of a helicopter when she doesn't like helicopters. She likes horses. Why couldn't she have a horse? So George was indulging his passion in helicopters, which is fine, but she was bored to tears. She wanted a horse or something that interested her. She did not want to wait there on a boring old tarmac in front of boring photographers waiting for her brother to finish with a boring helicopter. Can you imagine? How boring. Charlotte wanted probably a horse. So I think that's why she had a bit of a temper tantrum. But it was soon rectified. Catherine was in there like a shot, picked her up, and it was all kind of over. And it was rather cute and adorable, I would say. Dawn says, in true teacher fashion, he's giving us a pop quiz. I will. It's quite a difficult one. It's from a newspaper. I'll do a quick flash of it. It's there. And I haven't read all the questions, so I'll be reading some of them fresh too. It's got the answers at the end, so I'll read out all the answers. But it's quite a toughie, actually. I think a few of you will get quite a few wrong, but we'll see. Kimberly says, I wonder how many times she has tried it on already. She's bound to have tried it on. The brooch, of course. The Queen, I'd imagine, would have tried it on as soon as she had the chance. Sia Moon says, hi everyone, hello to you. Annette says, I would fail the quiz as I'm new to following the royals. Don't worry, it's just fun. Just have a guess. Some of the answers are you've got a choice of A, B, or C. And some of them are quite funny, so just watch it for fun. It is rather fun. Just have a stab. Carrie says, I love the Charlotte temper tantrum too. And Sandy can't hear or see me. Refresh if you can't see me. Dawn says, never thought of those crystals. Well, I think that's what they make them of. I'm sure they are a type of Swarovski type, you know, Swiss crystal. So I'm sure they can replicate them. Carrie says, and the photos of George for his 4th birthday. The new photo was taken by Chris Jackson, who is Getty Images royal photographer, the official royal photographer. He took a series of images, and I think some other people did too, but the Cambridges chose his image. And it is a very striking image. I love it. And he does resemble, I think, his father quite a lot. From all the ages, from when he was 2, 3, 4, and he looks very much like Prince William. Oh dear says, I truly think the Queen was happy to receive the snowflake. I know she gets many gifts that she doesn't know what to do with, but I'm sure the snowflake will be worn. Yes, of course. You know, any practical present that you can use or wear goes down a treat, because she can indeed wear it. And now, when she has a Canadian diplomat or a Canadian occasion to mark, she doesn't just have the choice of one brooch, she has 2. So gives a bit of diversity to a wardrobe. She can wear lots of blue outfits as well with it to complement the sapphires, or even white or cream. It would look gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Jen says, how come Elliot is not talking? I am talking. Refresh. Carrie says, what's the prize? The satisfaction of knowing that you've taken a quiz. It's 25 questions long. It's quite a big quiz. Linda says, greetings from Detroit. Would like replicas of Her Majesty's aquamarine jewellery. Yes, and of course the aquamarine suite was last seen at the Spanish state visit, when the Queen wore the aquamarine tiara and her necklace, and it looked absolutely stunning. And actually that brooch, the snowflake brooch, would go quite well with the aquamarine. Jamie says, hey, I was just wondering if people would. I would need to cheat. Don't cheat. No cheating. Oh, you're saying you won't need to cheat. Of course, because you're a Queen Elizabeth expert. Carrie says, surely you shouldn't be allowed to take part. It's the Queen about Her Majesty. Jamie says, the quiz is what I've been wanting Elliot to do for ages. Well, I finally am. I found one that I thought would be fun. MSMB says, Charlotte looked tired too. She did. It's a long week. I mean, when you're that age and you're small and you're being tagged along on an adult tour, I mean, let's face it, there wasn't much in the programme for children. So, you know, no big, massive tea party like there was in Canada. So, of course, they're probably tired, want to go home. The helicopter at the end was a bit of a sweetener, I think, for George, and possibly William too, because he looked like he really enjoyed it. But yeah, probably a bit bored, wanting to go home. And I think a little temper tantrum here or there is to be expected. Jamie says, happy summer, Elliot. Yes, he's referring to the fact that I now have 6 weeks off work, which I'm elated about. It's been a very, very tough week. Obviously, covering a heavy 5-day royal tour and other news, finishing off at my job for the 6-week break. It's been really, really tough and very stressful, but I got through, and it's now the holidays. So that's really, really cool. And I'm just looking forward to taking a relax and being able to focus more on YouTube and you guys, and covering all the royal stories that I want to cover. As far as I'm aware, I didn't miss a single engagement on the Cambridge's Poland-Germany tour. So I was very proud of myself, although a little tired towards the end of it. Also, a little bit later in the chat, I'm going to show you some gifts that I received, and they're royal related. So I'm going to show you some gifts. Obviously, breaking up for the summer, we tend to buy each other gifts, so I should do that. And also, there's a mystery bag. Okay, quick flash. I'll explain a little bit more about the mystery bag later. I'll tease you. Now I need to go and find some more of these questions, because YouTube haven't fixed the screen. It's still really, really small. So if I miss any questions, please do repeat them. but I'm still working my way down. Betsy says, hello, outstanding look as usual. Thank you very much. I've gone for a kind of yellow gold, which goes with the yellow in the wattle brooch. And Odia says, who pledges to not cheat on the quiz? Don't cheat. No cheating. I will boot you off my quiz. MSMB says, when Charlotte reached out her hand to shake the military man's hand while Catherine was holding her, that was fantastic. She does give brilliant royal waves too, if you've noticed. She's always the one who puts her hand up and does a little wave. Or at least it looks like a wave anyway. So she is rather sweet. I mean, her only little blip was the little bored tantrum, I think. Carrie says, I'll pledge if Elliot reveals the prize. There is no prize. It's just the satisfaction of taking part in a fun quiz. Sandy says, hi, I'm the only one having trouble viewing. If you do, refresh. Kimberly says, is Elliot on the other one? There were 2 chat reminders. Because there's going to be 2 chats. Tonight's chat, if you missed what I said earlier, is split into 2. The first hour up until 11 will be chat, and the second part will be quiz. So you'll have to log out of this one, or I'll go offline on this one, and I'll re-enter the new one about 5 minutes later. Jamie says, why does the Queen use the same brooches over and over, but doesn't use other ones in her collection, like aquamarine brooch? I think I only remember it in the Diamond Jubilee message. She has a plethora of brooches. She has a huge collection. And I think, like everything, she has her favourites. She has her go-to brooches, which she knows works, she knows complements her day wear. Then she has ones which she tends to wear more for evening wear, or she saves for big state occasions, or milestone events. Some that she probably hasn't worn in decades and decades is probably just that she doesn't like them. You know, just because you have really expensive, nice jewellery doesn't mean to say that you actually like the taste or style of it if you've inherited it. You know, most of these brooches she hasn't had commissioned herself, she's inherited. So of course there'll be pieces that she likes, pieces she doesn't, other pieces that she loans out to family, and that's probably the reason why. Odia says, no, the sapphires are real stones found on Baffin Island. They are the only ones in the world coloured that way naturally and not by a heat process. Yes, I knew they were real ones. When I was talking about crystals, I was talking about replicas. So if they were to make a replica of it, they would use crystals like the one that I've got here. And then I could buy it and I could wear it and I'd be very happy. Sandy says there's another one set for 45 minutes. Yes, that's the quiz. Jamie says it's a very nice brooch, but not my favourite. Please let us know what is your favourite brooch. Seven Bridges says tradition. Jamie's asking the same question. What's everybody's favourite brooch? Kimberly says there were a couple of people on the other chat. Oh no, I'm not on that one. I'm on this one. It is a little bit different this week, so hopefully they've figured out that I'm not on that one and I'm on this one. I hope. So imagine if they were sat there the whole time. Why do I find that funny? I have no idea. Maybe I'm just really happy because I'm on holiday for 6 weeks. Seven Bridges says, I like the brooch the Queen awarded to Michael Jackson. I can't remember that one. I'll have to look up that one. Can someone find it and send it to me on Twitter? Royal Reviewer on Twitter. You can follow me there. You can chat. I've got my phone. I can check pictures while we're on live chat. Vanal says it must get a bit much for the littlest royals sometimes, especially when on tour. Besides from Charlotte's cute little tantrum, she did really well, as did George. I agree. Jamie says, why not use the leaf brooch or the Prince Albert brooch? Because she likes the ones that she likes. I really don't know. If I ever got a chance to have a chat to the Queen, I would ask her. I could ask her that question. I just think she probably has her favourites. It could even be that she associates certain pieces with her grandmother, Queen Mary, because if Queen Mary really, really wore something that she found personal to her, maybe she thinks that's more kind of Queen Mary's type jewellery. I know she wears Queen Mary's pieces, but there might be some which she thinks were more personal, that kind of only her grandmother would wear. It's just a thought, and maybe it's true. Seven Bridges Road says, I've never seen the Prince Albert brooch. Look it up. It is stunning. Maybe I'll include that on a future video. Seven Bridges says, likes the maple leaf brooch. And Jamie said, the fact that you've never seen it is exactly my point. It's never used and it's absolutely marvellous. Okay. Carrie says, the Prince Albert brooch is breathtaking. And Jamie says, well, not as much as the maple leaf. Marjorie says, Elliot, do you have a PO box? I looked into it and it's really, really expensive here in the UK. If I wanted it for a year, it was something ridiculous like £300, which is kind of, you know, close to $500 for a year. It was quite expensive. So I haven't yet. That's not to rule it out in the future. If I get a little bit more support on Patreon, then that could easily cover the cost. So I have Royal Reviewer on Patreon. Patreon, rather. You become a patron of Patreon. Let's get that right. Freya says, I for one am obsessed with Kate's new haircut. She had some chopped off, a slightly different style. The colour really suits her. I think she had a slightly more kind of deep chestnut colour, would you describe it as? And it looks really good. Although I still think she'd look good with something a little bit more radical. Jamie says, I would like to see Catherine using Queen Victoria's wheatear brooches. They are lovely. And I'm sure when she gets the opportunity to, she will try and wear some. Seven Bridges says, tell your group you work for me now. Jamie says, the chat skipped and I can't see the question. You have to find it again now. Jamie says, the King William IV brooch is one great one as well. And Annette, there are so many fantastic ones. Annette says, still favourite is the basket brooch with the new Snowflake a close second. That's the flower basket, which I have a replica of too. Stacey Lamb says, hello from New Jersey. I have a bunch of jewellery and I tend to wear the same over and over again, which was my point exactly. Seven Bridges says, your group will continue your pay. And Betsy says, does Princess Margaret's daughter have much of her mother's jewellery? Obviously, all of Princess Margaret's pieces that were her own, that were bequeathed to her or given to her by the Queen, not on long-term loan, but given to her, were inherited by the family. It usually goes to the eldest son. However, some may have been bequeathed or gifted to her daughter. But of course, you know, I don't have the inventory. I don't have a list of the will. You can obtain it if you really, really wanted to, but I'm sure some of it is protected by special law, that you can't really go into it in that much detail. What was hers would have been inherited by the children, although I don't know who got what. Jamie says, I have a few favourites. One is the Jardinier brooch. There's so many really, 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 really lovely ones. I would like a replica of all of them, then I would wear them all the time. Carrie says, yes, that's stunning. I'd love to know the stories behind the brooches. They always add to their beauty in my view. Lots of them were presents, lots of them were given, and some were made from stones that were bequeathed in wills. So there's many different ways. Some were just commissioned. Seven Bridges says, wow, King William IV. Freya says, did you hear they're making a movie about Queen Anne starring Olivia Colman? Yes, I did, but I haven't looked much into it. So I don't know when it's out. Is it out soon? When are they going to make it exactly? Dawn says, I like Albert's brooch, but I'm biased towards maple leaf. Because, of course, Dawn is Canadian. Oh dear says, 6 weeks holiday is something to be very happy about. Hope the weather is good for your London visit, as I am selfishly looking forward to your upcoming videos. I hope so too. David says, will Harry elope, and does the Queen approve of Meghan? Of course, I don't know the Queen's personal feelings towards Meghan, although Harry is still with her, so that bodes fairly well in my view. I don't think they'll elope. I think they'll do it via the traditional announcement of an engagement, followed by about 6 months worth of wedding planning, and then the wedding. So I think that's how it will go. Seven Bridges says, let's go with photos in your presentation. MSNB says, I think Prince George looks so much like Catherine's father. Of course, Michael Middleton. And Charlotte like the Queen. But I still say a little bit like Diana. Jamie says, Queen Mary was the custodian of royal jewellery. She documented everything. She had everything recorded. Of course, she loved jewellery. She went after pieces that had been lost from the royal family or given away, and she got them back. She was instrumental in the royal art collection and just the royal collection in general, having everything documented, getting pieces back. She really was a true custodian of any royal artifacts and treasures and jewellery. Okay, Seven Bridges says, Meghan Markle is a hoax. I don't believe Prince Harry has even ever met Meghan. They're just using this for publicity. Well, they've definitely met because they've been photographed actually together. That wasn't Photoshop. I think it is a true relationship. I think it's his most serious. And I do think there will be a wedding. So sorry if you don't like Meghan Markle, but I think she's pretty much a permanent fixture for the moment. OGA says we should all chip in and get Elliot a post box. MSNB says 500 a year, that is really high. It was an extortionate amount, and I posted the actual kind of like quote of it onto Patreon. So if you're a Patreon Royal Reviewer patron, then you can see all exclusive behind the scenes things that I put up on Patreon. I also sent out for 2 of my patrons this week who've got birthdays coming up, personalised signed greeting cards with a signed photo of me. So if you want a signed photo birthday card of me, then subscribe to Royal Reviewer on Patreon, become a patron of $10 a month or more, and all of my $10 a month or more subscribers get a birthday card and a Christmas card, as well as other exclusive rewards. Okay, another comment. What happened to the King Faisal of Saudi Arabia necklace he presented to Her Majesty the Queen in 1967? King Faisal was a very kind and good king, and it looked like the Queen liked him. I think she has worn it on a few occasions since. Didn't she loan it? Is that the? I'm thinking that's the one she loaned to Catherine. I'm pretty sure she loaned it to Catherine. So it's there. It's in the collection. Perhaps it's just not her favourite, and she prefers to loan it out to other members of the family. I'm sure I've seen Catherine in that one at some point. Carrie says, I would love to know more about how the jewellery has been designed, worn, and by who. Well, the last video I put in of the Snowflake really goes into detail. There's a proper video of how they made it and everything. So go there and watch that. I also have a playlist about royal jewellery with a bit more information about them. So go to that, and I hope you enjoy. And I hope to do much more upcoming videos on it too. Kimberly says, the Prince Albert brooch is a large blue sapphire surrounded by diamonds. Catherine should ask to borrow it. It would look great with her engagement ring. It's very, 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 very similar, but obviously older and a little bit more older fashioned, to the one that Princess Diana had fashioned into a choker with the 7 strands of pearl. So it's very, very similar to that. And actually, there is a replica of it, which I could buy. So I have found a replica of that previously, and I might buy it. It would look amazing. Jamie says, what's the Michael Jackson brooch? I've not heard anything of it. I can't picture it either. So I don't know. Maybe it was a badge. I'm thinking maybe a badge of some kind. Seven Bridges says, I like the brooch, the one she awarded to Michael. I haven't seen that one. I really haven't. Okay, let me go up and see if I can find some more questions. Emerson B says, I would have to say the Queen Victoria double bow brooch is my favourite, and I have a replica of that one. I was possibly going to wear that today, but I didn't. I wore this one instead. Seven Bridges says the diamond crown. I hope. Do you mean the small diamond crown that Victoria wore? Seven Bridges says I ordered crown cufflinks. They are available. Carrie says I agree, Kimberly. It would be a great blend of young and old generations of royals, plus help to remind younger people of some fab royals from centuries ago. And Jamie says, but my all-time favourite is the Grima Ruby. H.A. Bratton says, hi, just now joined the live chat. I saw a documentary about Margaret's jewellery, and a lot of it was auctioned off to pay estate taxes. I hadn't heard that a lot was auctioned. I haven't found any photographs of anything that's been auctioned. I think the tiaras and things are still in the family. Seven Bridges says, I also wanted a crown pin. Yes, they do them, and they are rather good. Ruby is your birthstone, and that's July. Peridot is mine, and that's August. NSNB says, I don't believe Queen Elizabeth gave a brooch to Michael Jackson. I haven't heard of it, and I haven't seen it. Annette says, Queen Mary went after so much stuff that the people she visited in their estates feared her visit, because if she liked something very much, they were obligated to give it to her. Yes, I saw the same thing too. She would turn up at dinner, and if she showed an interest in something, it was her way of saying, I would like that as a gift. She was kind of a magpie. If she saw something that she liked, she had to have it. And she did kind of expect it given to her. Jamie says, the King's Faisal necklace was last worn by Sophie in 2012 for the Luxembourg Prince's pre-wedding gala. Catherine has never worn it. I must be thinking of a different one that Catherine's worn. But I did know that it had been worn fairly recently, and I would class 2012 as being fairly recently. James Med4 says, Canada is so generous. They have given the Queen 4 horses, starting with Burmese, and now this beautiful brooch. So lovely Duchess Catherine could calm Charlotte so quickly. She seems like a good mummy. And William seemed like a really good dad too. He wasn't sort of helping George solely like he normally does. He was also seen helping Charlotte. Jamie says Rory spotted. Yes, he's been in, and he was chasing something on the floor. I think it was a leaf. Yeah, I've just seen. Freya says, why didn't they give women the Order of the Garter between 1488 and 1901? I would imagine probably like in history, like a lot of other things, it was, you know, the fact that men had preferential treatment. You know, men were the ones that inherited. You know, it really was a man's world back then. And thankfully, we don't live in those times now. You know, with women's rights and equal rights for everyone. And I think that's the main reason why. Betsy says, does Camilla ever wear any pieces that were lent by the Queen to Diana? Not that I'm aware of. Camilla tends to wear a lot of Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother's jewellery. So the Greville tiara, the big necklaces, and I think she has the Queen Mother's engagement ring. The only one that I've seen her wearing that Diana also wore was the Prince of Wales brooch with the pendant on it. And the only reason she wears it is because it wasn't actually Diana's, it was the Prince of Wales's. And as she's married to the Prince of Wales, she has worn it. But Diana didn't wear it a lot. She was photographed in it. That's the only one that I know of that she's worn. Seven Bridges says, I like Prince Albert of Monaco's collar pins, crown colour. I want to order some of these also. Carrie says it's a stunning necklace. And Jamie says, are you drinking tea, sir? I do have my tea today. And in fact, today I had it black. Kimberly says, just saw a picture of the beautiful diamond necklace that was given to King Faisal, given by King Faisal, and the Countess of Wessex was wearing it. And Seven Bridges says, a raspberry iced tea with lemon, please. Odia says, we should all make inquiries to the Royal Gift Shop and ask to buy a Snowflake brooch. They haven't commissioned one yet. I really want one. Maybe if they got many requests, then it might, oh, there you go. That's a good idea. Let's all request it and see if they make one up. Jamie says, the Queen probably wants to keep Canada for all the free stuff. She has had lots of gifts, and she's very lucky. She's a very lucky lady. Carrie says, Elliot, can I suggest for your future productions that you have a computer screen in the background so that people can see the brooches, etc., instead of Googling them in the background? I would love all of that really good technology stuff, but this is my kitchen. It's my kitchen wall, and I don't really think my partner would appreciate a big, massive TV screen in my kitchen, in our kitchen. However, if I ever had a purpose-built place where I could make my royal videos from, which I would ideally love, I'd love a little place down the garden, kind of like a royal hut. Then I could definitely have some kind of something put up there. But it is a really good idea, and I would love that too. Freya says, is anyone in the royal family a Jane Austen fan? There's been lots of talk in the media this week about Jane Austen and Jane Austen fans. As far as I'm, it's not really public knowledge what the royals read, so I don't know if they are. I would imagine, if anyone is, maybe the older generation of royals. But I know that in modern day Britain there is also a big rising in Jane Austen novels amongst younger people, because I saw that in the news this week. Carrie says, peppermint tea for you. James says, is that documentary? I think not sure, but after Queen Mary died, some so-called gifts were given back to these persons. Yes, in documentary, I think it was the Cambridge emeralds. I think they were given away, and she went to the lady who they were given to, and she got them back. She literally kind of stormed in and said, I want my emeralds back, and she got them. Jamie says, I'll call the Lord Chamberlain's office. I would want someone in a managerial capacity. I don't want them to bother Her Majesty. Sounds a bit Hyacinth Bouquet. Annette says, because Charles was so close to the Queen Mother, maybe that's why Camilla wears her jewels. I would agree. And I think he does like to see Camilla wearing them. Another question. Do you know whatever become of the unusual pearl worn by Anne Boleyn? Does it still exist? Well, there was rumours that one of the pearls on the imperial state crown, I don't know which one, but probably the one that looks the oldest, was originally owned by Elizabeth I. So I'm thinking Anne Boleyn being Elizabeth I's mother, perhaps that is the pearl and that is the link. So I would tentatively say that Anne Boleyn's pearl is the same Elizabeth I's pearl that is said to be on the imperial state crown. And I think it's, out of all of them, I did look once, and one of them is slightly more larger than the others, and it's a bit of an odd shape. So I think it's that one. MSMB says, that's interesting. James Med. Kimberly says, is your partner from the UK? Elliot, yes. From the same town, in fact. Carrie says, and where is your partner if you are on a TV on a Saturday night? At work. Works nights. Oh dear says, my hubby would not want our kitchen full of royal items. You need a spare room like I have for my projects. Maybe an attic conversion. Well, if you don't, of course you wouldn't know my house, but my house kind of doesn't have an attic. The roof space goes up into the eaves. So I don't really have an attic, so I can't have an attic conversion. But I could possibly have a building in the garden. But of course, that costs quite a bit of money. Kimberly says, good question. Now you're making me wonder what happened to the necklace. Jamie says, oh, it was a direct Hyacinth comment. I thought I recognised it. Nina says, hello, I was in the wrong room. Oh my goodness, I was just joking before maybe someone was stuck in the wrong room, and it was poor Nina. Well, I'm glad you found the correct one. The other room is for the second half of tonight's chat, which is a quiz. So we've got 20 minutes until the quiz. Annette says, I just have read Jane Austen in the last 3 years. Didn't appreciate them when I was younger, but now I'm enthralled. They do certainly capture an era. And of course, the ideas still translate even into modern life. I think because it's much about humanity in general, and that really hasn't kind of changed in all that time. Jamie says, 3 out of the 4 pearls under the circle part on top are from her necklace. I thought it was just 1. And I think the oldest one is the one that's slightly more odd shaped. Now, I didn't make a list this week because there was so much to write down that I couldn't possibly have written a list. So I'm going to check on my phone if there's any videos that I really do need to speak about. So I made a video, as you know, about the Snowflake brooch, but I also made one about Catherine debuting Princess Diana's, or Diana, Princess of Wales's, former pearl bracelet. So if you haven't checked that one out, please do check it out. It was definitely the first time that she's worn it in public, and that was pretty cool. And of course, there were so many videos on the royal tour of Poland and Germany. Both legs of the tour were pretty special. There were some emotional moments too, where they visited places in connection with the Holocaust. Very touching. It was Camilla's 70th birthday. So there was a video about that. So if you want to wish Camilla a happy birthday, happy 70th birthday, please do. There was an official portrait released about that. There was William and Catherine at Wimbledon. They seemed to really enjoy tennis. And Prince Charles got licked in the face by a dog. I made a video about that one, which was pretty special. And as I said, please, if you've got anything that you'd like to talk about, please leave it in the comments section. We have 15 minutes left of this part of the chat. Seven Bridges says, am I still live? Yes, this is still live. James Men says, Cromwell sold the crown jewels. He did indeed. He's a very bad man. There must be some history of this and would make a wonderful documentary where they ended up. Some of them may have gone commercials. I think a lot of the gold was kind of smelted down, but the jewels would have been sold off, and they could have ended up anywhere. Nina says, no, went and did the dinner dishes. So you weren't stuck in a room, an empty room for 45 minutes. Freya says, I read once that Margaret Thatcher didn't care for Prince Charles. Is that true? I didn't hear that, but I know that Prince Charles does like to get involved in politics, and maybe he did something that she didn't like. Fanal says, it must have been a very emotional experience for Catherine and William when touring the concentration camp in Poland. It was indeed. I think there was like a, if you can call it an exhibition, there was a room full of shoes, which obviously once had an occupant. So these pairs of shoes represented the people that had died, and that was just, it must have been overwhelming to see that. And you say, had it been me, my heart would have been in my throat the entire time. And you could see that etched on Catherine and William's faces. Jamie says, the Governor General holding the Queen's arm was so sweet and kind. Yes, he was helping. Definitely a breach of protocol, but I think he was helping, and she didn't seem to mind that much. Bearing in mind that at Westminster Abbey, she's had a rail installed up the steps. I think steps are becoming an issue just because of her age. She is not immune to age-related mobility issues. Seven Bridge says, remember Poland? Of course. Odia says, oh yes, the dog lick. I had a laugh when watching that. Jamie says, are you going to show us the gifts? Ah, yes. Well remembered. I nearly forgot, actually. So, the gifts. Here's my gift bag. So I'm going to open them now. Show you. So the first one, it's all wrapped up. Is a Charles and Diana commemorative bowl, I guess you'd call it. It was given by a friend that I work with, and it says Charles and Lady Diana to commemorate their marriage, 29th of July 1981. And it's the same on the other side, and it has the Prince of Wales feathers with Ishtian put in. And if I hold it there, hopefully you can see. So yeah, so that's the bowl, and I'm gonna put the bowl over here. Look, there we go. The second one. Would it be awful if I dropped them now? I've got a tiled floor, so if I dropped them, it wouldn't be very good. The next one is a cup, and it's a King George VI and Queen Elizabeth. And it was the date they were crowned, May the 12th, 1937. And it's from the borough of Widnes, which is a town in the UK. It says coronation, May the 12th. And I hope you can see that one. So it's very good. And of course, it's a commemorative cup, although I might have a sneaky drink from it. So I'll pop that over there too. Oops. There we go. And so those were my gifts, which are very lovely gifts. So I love those. And I will tell you a little bit more about the mystery bag. My mystery bag. Now this was given to me at the same time by the same friend who I work with, because it's my birthday in the 6 weeks holiday. So this is a special birthday bag, and I've had strict instructions not to open it until my birthday. And she said to me, make sure you open it on your live chat. So I'm assuming it's something royal related, but I have no idea what it is. So it's a mystery bag for you, and it's a mystery bag for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait. Now I'm not sure which Saturday live chat will be the closest to my birthday, because obviously I'm planning on going away around my birthday. So I might have to wait a week later than my birthday to open this. But I promise, I promise, I will open this on my Saturday live chat that is closest to my birthday when I'm able to. So we will find out together what is in the mystery bag. It's definitely royal related. I can't even guess what it is. Let me know in the comment section below. What do you think is in this bag? Let me know. What is the butterfly hiding? So we will reveal the mystery all together. Now I need to go up now and find out what some of the questions. Okay. Carrie says Kate and William did a fab tour along with their children. They're super down to earth and relatable. James says, have you seen Tracy Ullman's skit where she plays Camilla? Yes, I have. She's really, really funny. I haven't seen the one where she's watching Prince George. And yes, she does indeed do a great Angela Merkel. Seven Bridges said the photos are Photoshop. I think there was a slight bit of Photoshop on the Camilla birthday portrait. We can't attribute that entirely to lighting. Kimberly says there were a lot of skits on Saturday Night Live on the relationship of the Queen and the Iron Lady way back when. MSNB says yes, she does a great Camilla. Another comment: did Her Majesty the Queen visit her grandmother's, Queen Mary of Teck's ancestral home? To be honest, I don't entirely know. I know she was there in the 1960s, as you rightly put. But of course, that's way before my time, way before I was following them. So I would have to do some research on that one to tell you. Carrie says, I'm a huge fan of Saturday Night Live. Thanks for the tip. And Odious says, I was astonished that there were 2 survivors accompanying Catherine and William. Amazing for them to have met the survivors and be able to speak with them. Indeed, very touching and poignant. Seven Bridges says, the Queen Mother went to a Beatle concert. Someone spoke of the Fab Four in live chat. Annette Fournier says, Camilla and Charles's birthday portrait was so touched up, it was ridiculous. Obviously, she is not that comfortable with natural aging. No comment from me. Odious says, love presents, even if they are not for me. How appropriate. I think I would put flowers in it. Why not? In fact, actually, the bowl could have flowers. And I do grow sweet peas in the summer, so maybe I could put some sweet peas in. MSMB says, awesome gift. Seven Bridges says, I was surprised the Queen Mother went to the Fab Four concert. That was quite interesting. They stopped the concert and the Beatles acknowledged the Queen Mother was there. Jamie says he loves the cup. Oh dear, oh, no, it skipped loads of questions. Let's go back up. Okay, oh dear says, totally love the cup or mug, as we would call it here. Very nice to have. Think you should use it on your videos. Perhaps it could be my teacup. It could have a very good idea. I might. Carrie says, shame there aren't any photos or footage of that concert. What a moment. Maybe there is somewhere. We'd have to look. Van Al says, wonderful gifts. How very lucky you are. Amanda says, you have great friends. Carrie says, I love the butterfly bag. I wonder what's in it. Dawn says, I have a teacup with that Charles and Diana pattern. I mean, of course, they must have been mass produced. James Med says, so many things Prince of Wales has supported. For example, urban planning, organic farming, and was criticised for, and now are very much mainstream. Yes, he was very much ahead of his time. A lot of the issues that he was slated for, especially in the 70s and 80s and early 90s, have now become huge issues facing the world. And that's one of my reasons why I think he'll be a good king, because he will highlight, he'll have more power to highlight these issues. Jamie says, I think it's royal flavoured chewing gum. Who knows? I really don't know. Freya says, I just went to a costume party dressed as Eleanor of Aquitaine. Have you ever dressed as a royal? Yes, and if you're a patron on my Patreon, you will see a photo I posted where I did dress as a royal. It's very, very special indeed. Right, we have 5 minutes left of this chat, so I'm going to try and get through as many questions as I can. Odia says, your friend taped the top of the butterfly bag shut, good thing. Because if it was me, I would be tempted to peek. I'm very good at not peeking. Van Al says, I honestly don't think the Queen minds those little breaches of protocol sometimes. She seemed to not mind the Michelle Obama breach. Carrie says, please describe the flavour of royal chewing gum. It might not be royal chewing gum. I don't know. Is there even royal chewing gum? Kimberly says, is there any commemorative items of Edward the VIII? There would have been some. I think some were already being made. So there are definitely some out there at some point. Okay, I'm just trying to get through some questions. James says, have to be fair to Camilla, she is not vain. She seems like she prefers to be casual. Nina says, today is also my granddaughter's birthday. I love that it's the same as George. She's 2. Well, happy birthday to Nina's granddaughter. MSMB says, if Camilla wasn't vain, she wouldn't have allowed the photoshopping of her portrait. Deborah says, yes, you must use that cup in the chats. Nice present. And does the Queen like Lily of the Valley scented soap? I don't know, but I do. In fact, Lily of the Valley is one of my favourite ones. And you say, thanks so much for this great and interesting live chat. Well, thank you for joining. Carrie loved the Michelle Obama moment, very human, and showed huge respect between them. Oh dear says, if I was Camilla's age, I would want all the photoshopping I could get. Seven Bridges says, I prefer a pictorial journey with photos. We have too many technological programs. Freya says, bye Elliot, you're amazing, have a great night. Jamie says, it was the Queen who made the first moves on Obama. Odia says, fun chat, going now to wait for the quiz. MSNB says, lots of laughter to Jamie. So, I've showed you my royal gifts for the summer holidays. I've shown you the mystery bag. And I really have no idea what's in the mystery bag. And it will remain a mystery. And I promise not to open it until I have you guys to share it with. Okay, so there's only a few minutes left. I will vanish for 5 minutes after I've gone from this chat, and I will reopen the new one. So I think if you go to my channel, you will see it classed as the quiz. Go into that chat room. I won't be long. I'll only be literally 5 minutes while I set up for the quiz. Grab yourself a pen, grab yourself some paper, obviously to write on, and there are 25 questions. So some of them are quite funny, or some of the answers might be quite funny. So please join me for the quiz. It's a great standalone quiz too, which is why I'm doing it in 2 separate videos, so that anybody who's watching after the live quiz can literally just kind of, you know, do the quiz at their leisure. So it'll be really good. So hopefully, you know, grab yourself another drink. I'm going to get myself another drink in the 5 minutes. And hopefully we'll have a really good quiz. Like I say, 25 questions, so, you know, it should be completed in under half an hour, which makes up my usual live chat time that I kind of stay on for. So hopefully you'll really enjoy it. And don't cheat. Promise me you will not cheat. I really, really, really don't want any cheaters. Just have a go. As I said, it's a choice of A, B, or C. Okay, lots of people saying goodbye. Carrie says, great chat, very well directed, and thanks. Lots of other people saying goodbye. So I'm going to go now. So it won't be a very long goodbye. You don't have to wait till next week to see me. You will see me in 5 minutes time. So from me in Shropshire, goodbye for 5 minutes. I'll be back.